Howdy folks, my name is Lance090 and welcome to Let's Play Factorio version 1. Yes, the game's been in early access this entire time. It's not been a complete game. It finally is. It's 1.0, it's out of early access, so let's take a look at what's going on. I've recently played it on some multiplayer on the very last patch that there was. I haven't played it on actual 1.0 yet. We're probably just going to do free play here. I figure we'll just show off the base game. I'm not going to have any of the mods installed. There's lots of great mods for Factorio. But I want to just show people what the game looks like at default. So I don't think I'm going to touch any of this stuff. Maybe we're just going to leave it all the same. Might want to preview the map at least, though, because sometimes you get some pretty poor maps to start with. Let's see. It's probably going to start us in here. Coal, copper, iron. Got a lot of hills. That looks fine to me. Sure. Some aliens like kind of close by. But that's okay. On my multiplayer game, we're actually playing a whoa. Cutscene. Launch a rocket into space. You need to research technologies in order to unlock the rocket silo. Start small and work your way up with automation. Don't forget to protect yourself from the natives. Oh. Spaceship just had a little bit of ammo in it. That's it. Can we get stuff out of you? They took out the melee item. Here. We control click. We can grab stuff straight out without having to tab into the thing. Are you going to get anything for this? Doesn't seem like it. Yeah, the plot didn't used to be that you're crash landed. It used to be that you're just setting up a factory on this planet. So that other people can arrive later and make use of the factory. But now it seems like we're crash landed and maybe supposed to escape? I'm not sure. Anyway, we'll start off here by gathering some rocks by hand. First step of the game here, we have to do things manually. But the automation will come soon. They've updated like all the graphics. Lots of other things, but just between this update and the last update, the big change was the graphics, because now all the trees have like wind effects in them and stuff, which is pretty cool. Then, like, every 2D sprite in your inventory has been changed, too. So we're just getting some Amazon basics here. Wood. Stone. Alright, so I think before we can build a miner drill... Well, this interface is a little different, so you're going to have to bear with me here. Yeah, for now... we don't have enough material to make a second miner. What everyone likes to do, because it's a great strategy. This is a small coal mine, by the way, and that's going to cause us issues in the future, but it's okay. Is we'll get 4 of these things facing each other on the coal, and that will allow us to get a like an infinite loop of coal going, which is super effective at the start of the game. So I'm just going to keep working on these straggler trees here to get them out of our way. We're going to need the wood for power lines. In the future, we can also use it for wood boxes, which we'll probably be using at the start here. We'll control click on that to get the plates out. And let's see, can we build... yeah, we can build 2 more miners. We only need 2 in order to get the infinite loop started. And then I'm just gonna mine up a single piece of coal. And I'll just place them like that. Turn one on, and now they're gonna pump coal into each other. They gather more than they use. So that's why that works. Let's keep working on this stuff here. I'm assuming we don't need to keep this stuff for any reason. Might be fun to keep the spaceship intact for some reason. It does have 5 storage space. I guess that's kind of useful. I mean, a wooden storage box has like 64 storage spaces, but I don't know. Seems like it might be interesting to like build around it. No guarantee though. Nah, probably not, because we're gonna build our power coming out from this lake here. And we're gonna have to build coal coming from the coal spot over to the copper and iron. So you can imagine that airplane getting in the way of building our hub. So if you're not familiar with Factorio, maybe you're looking it up for the first time since it's on 1.0. It's a little bit like Minecraft, in a sense. But everything, the name of the game here is automation. The whole idea is to get everything going on its own. And for you to have like as little personal impact as you have to put in, you know? Yeah, now we have coal. It lasts a little longer than wood. Get that going. Let's get the iron plates out of there. Not sure how big of a scale I want to go with to start with here. The more things we put down, the more pollution we produce. The more the more pollution we produce, the more the aliens will want to come attack us. At the very start here, we're just not really prepped for it. We can get this going into a 4x4, or 2x2 technically. There we go. So set up the 4x4. I'm just pressing R to rotate these, by the way. Just set it up like that, and they'll just all feed into each other. Guessing you could stretch this out into any size you want. 4x4 always seems to be enough for me, though. Again, you don't want to produce too much pollution, or you can make your early game up pretty difficult. So right now, iron's going to be our main problem. There's a laboratory. We are going to need some iron, too. So I guess we'll get that going next. Another iron drill. Might as well get 2, I guess. And I might increase iron up to 4. Try to work on these little dangly parts. Gotta get some coal. I could use the wood on them, but we need it for power lines. The coal lasts longer anyway. You can also load things manually with control click. Oops. So here we go. Get those running. Now we're probably just going to wait a bit. Not a whole lot we can do. Okay, so we should probably get iron going into 4, because right now we're just not producing enough iron to get anything done. It's interesting that these are flashing when they're working, I guess is what's going on. It used to be that those icons would stay on. And the way I turned that on, by the way, is by pressing the Alt key. The Alt key will make that stuff appear. It's pretty useful to have. That way you can see what things are actually working on, and not just have to memorize everything. Okay. It's all running. We'll go ahead and get light armor built. Don't know when The aliens may try to attack us. And we'll start working on steam power. Right now, the only thing we need power for is running the science lab. But it's something we can't do by ourselves. The research lab has to work in order for us to do research. Knock out one of those. Alright, we'll grab the offshore pump. Weirdly, I could use this little tiny pond here if I wanted to. I might, actually. It's nice to have like a route around this, because this is going to be a really big assembly in the long run. Let me get more iron here. Oh, these ran out of fuel. That's okay. Like that. Get that iron out of there. Might as well grab the coal while we're here. So there's one alien base just over the ridge there. We're going to have to take it out eventually because they're going to get annoyed by the pollution pretty soon. Alright, to start with, we're going to use this underground pipe to pump the water out. We're going to attach a regular pipe there. Yeah, that's actually what we want to do. We'll use the regular pipe in a moment. Would like to build one more steam engine. So the ratio you want here is 1 boiler to 2 steam engines. And the offshore pump can power 20, I think, steam engines total. Alright, let's start working on some power line. And go get some more resources here. Eventually we'll get enough coal here that we won't have to be as stingy with reloading things. Iron. Maybe the copper. Aren't you working? Is there no copper there? Huh. Maybe there's a tiny, because I'm pretty sure that was working for a bit, wasn't it? It was. So there's this very, very little copper in that spot. That happens. Okay. Now, we've got some power poles. We're going to use power poles a lot, so what I'm going to do is grab the power poles and pop them in that inventory slot. Now, even if I use all my power poles, they will still go into the slot every time we make them. So now we'll make a little wood chest here. Actually, I don't have any coal on me, so this won't work. Eventually, we want to roll up a transport track to take the coal all the way up there. Right now, we don't have that much iron on us, so we're just going to manually load in the coal here. So this is a burner inserter. It runs on coal. So it's a good way to get started on your steam build here. You just load this up with coal. It'll load itself up, and then it'll start loading up the steam engine. Oops, I didn't need to build another wire there. We want to keep this pipe clear because we need to build extensions off that later. But for now, we can plop down 2 science labs is what I usually go for. We'll put those down there. Little function. We're out of coal again, of course. 19. Let's just grab more. load these back up. Iron makes the world go around right now. Alright. Here come the science labs. So we'll take them. And this is just temporary. We're going to move these science labs to somewhere permanent eventually. Right now, they're just going here. They're connected to the power. They'll run. And now, by hand, we have to make research packs. We can set our research, though. First thing... Actually, there's a couple options for first thing, depending on what kind of situation you're in. Automation is a pretty huge one, because it gives you the assembly machine, which allows you to automate things getting constructed, rather than making it by hand. Long-hand inserter lets you grab things from tracks that are further away, which we'll get into later. If you're playing like a Death World game, you might want turrets first, because it's going to be a lot of enemies coming at you very quickly. Or you might want military first if you're in danger. Splitters and underground belts are going to be critical to the way I design our base here. But we can just start with automation, I guess. But yeah, for now, just gotta make these the science by hand. It takes a very long time. 90% of our game is going to be focused on getting science automated. Because it intentionally takes a very long time for that very reason. Well, there was this like very little... very little copper on these corner pieces. That's okay. There we go. About to have our 10 science done, so we'll run up to the science labs. Split the science up. Control-click half of them in there, control-click the other half in there. And automation will start researching. Take a look at our pollution map here, see if we're in trouble. Once we have SMGs and a fair bit of ammo, we should be able to go take on that that small base there. Unless they've changed how tough the enemies are, I don't know. We're not on Death World though. In Death World they're pretty tough. Grab some more coal. No, I'm basically just kind of moving things around. Can't really get those mounts. Okay. Automation's done. Go ahead and get military. We'll have to build the science by hand. Probably should have been making it the whole time while I was doing this other stuff, because you can do both. So while we wait on that, build some more ammo as well. Well, that's two things that we can't do at the same time, which could be a good use for an assembly machine. You're like, well, I need ammo. What can I do? In fact, we'll do that just as a demonstration. I don't really need to do it, I don't think. As I've said, we're not in a Death World situation. We'll get an assembler built. Get that demonstrated in the first episode rather than the second, because the second one's probably when we're going to start working on the assemblers and stuff. So we'll toss half our science in each of those. Now assemblers need power, so we need to move them over here by our science labs. We can click on it, and then we can tell it what we want it to build. We want it to build firearms. Load it up with iron plates, but that's not good enough. It's also going to need an inserter and a box. This is an electric inserter. It doesn't use coal, but it uses power. There we go. And we can click this X button here and drag it, and that'll limit how much ammo can get made here. So now this builds ammo, while we build science. So we can get 2 birds stoned at once there. If you're in a death world situation, you will want to get something like this going like immediately, because you're going to need lots of ammo. And I'm going to take a sip. I apologize, that's my Steam. A couple more science in there. There's the military done. Alright, let's get logistics. That's going to be pretty critical to the way I build my base. There's a few different ways to handle the base, but there's one that's like pretty much superior to all the others. And that's what I'm going to show you in this playthrough. So we'll build an SMG here. Actually, I'm not sure the SMG by itself will be enough to take this base on. I think we'll need shooting speed and damage, at least one level of it. And you can see this is already done building ammo. It ran out of steel, or iron. I don't want to give it more iron, though. Let's just build some more science. Yes, we will automate science, but it's a pretty large ordeal. Not really for the red science. We could get that going pretty quick. But we really want to build it in its permanent position right away. Those dried up too. As did these. Yikes, I feel like they lowered the amount of material in these. Alright. I still want to work on the edges because the machines that we're going to upgrade to don't really do that well on the edges. Okay. All our science back up here. And build some more. Before I get the big hub going, we want to take out this base. So that's why I'm just doing it by hand for now. Like, we could start it right now, but I don't want them attacking me while I'm in the middle of building something complicated, you know? Lots of iron, though. Starting to get ahead of the curve here. Can also build a radar. It'll explore the map very slowly. It takes a lot of power to power though, and it's not really that useful, so I think we're gonna leave it out for now. We can change our mind about it later if we need to. Let's see. Radar uses 300 kilowatts of power compared to like a assembly machine, 77 kilowatts of power. Okay. Ooh, that's actually 100 science. We can't do that by hand. 100 science is too much. Essentially, the last two, well, optics, turrets, and stone walls are the last ones we can do with red science, which is about all we can produce by hand with ease. Don't think I'm even going to put the science in there. I think we're just going to focus on ammo now. And we're going to do our best to try to take out this alien base. Can swap our guns out there. I'll just put the pistol in one of these forbidden slots there. There's also a shotgun. Actually, I think in the early game the shotgun might be better against the bases. I'll go ahead and make it. Well, yeah, it's fine. However, we'll save fighting the next base for the next video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, remember hit the like button, keep the conversation going in the comments, and subscribe if you want to see more. Until next time, I hope you have a good day.